Welcome in, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Happy Thursday evening to everyone. We are brought to you by ONORA Whiskey and Believe Network, ONORAWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, left, make sure you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it. Lucky Lefty Podcast. I am Shaun Davis, SD2 Mics. He is the original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK ZAIRE, ONORA Whiskey, Believe Network, audio edibles each and every day, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Believe in Notre Dame, believe in Lucky Lefty, believe in yourself. Go over to Believe Network, check it out, lock in with us. Download all of our audio edibles each and every day. YouTube, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. It helps with the views, and make sure you leave your comments or questions because we respond to all. We are here for you. Go to luckyleftypod.com. That's right. We actually are launching our editorial part of Lucky Lefty Podcast. I put a short story up about the pro day. It's over at luckyleftypod.com. Have a story on a couple of recruits over there. Have a story on Jawan Sider and how he's impacting the running back room. And we're just going to keep adding things. Left is going to have his video breakdown of athletes coming up very soon on luckyleftypod.com. And of course, you can shop with us. You can merch it over at luckyleftypod.com. And don't forget patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network, Lucky Legends Podcast, and the Players Only Podcast. They'll be coming out of hibernation soon. We are the home of misguided passion and forever committed to making sure that we spin it what left? Different. Our teams are playing each other right about now. I think it was a tie game at halftime. Y'all please don't lose to the Bulls twice in a week. But you already know you're not living that one down. I'm gonna be texting you at like 1 a.m, then again at 2 a.m, then again at 3 a.m. I'm gonna text you until you get up to go deal with the kiddos, boy. I'm gonna let you have it if they lose this game tonight. No. No need for you to respond. It wasn't a yes or no question. It didn't need a response. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen if a certain result takes place. Speaking of results, we're going to go over the pro day results. A little bit of a slow look. Chris Mitchell had the fastest time. I had him running faster, and I can tell you from being up close and personal, he is not 2/100th of a second faster than Bo Collins. I don't know what stopwatch they had. If Bo Collins ran a 4.52, if Bo Collins ran a 4.52, Chris Mitchell did not run a 4.5. I had Chris Mitchell in the 4.4s twice. So I don't know what stopwatch. I don't know what they had. But if you watch,
Chris Mitchell got slower?
Chris Mitchell was in the 4.4s, bro. Chris Mitchell was talking that 4.3 talk.
So I said I thought he ran a 4.3. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought he ran a 4.3. He lost 0.2.
But when you watched it, well, we'll get to it. I cracked the code, left. I cracked the code. This is why I call BS. I've been watching this tournament, right?
Okay.
And so all of the teams that are left in the Sweet 16 are from 4 conferences. All the major conferences. There's no more Cinderella stories moving forward in the big dance. We're not about to see teams get to the Sweet 16 like VCU. Yeah, days are over, bro. And you know why? See, you have to watch it. This is the genius. They always wanted to exclude the smaller teams. The bigger conferences, that was their plan the whole time. That's why they sat back and let NIL run its course, left, because they knew that they would cannibalize the smaller teams. They knew it. And eventually, all the power schools would get all the money. when it came to the big dance in the playoffs. And it's coming. It's coming. Absolutely, it's coming. So now in football, the Cinderella stories are the Indianas, are the Vanderbilts. Those are the teams that will have Cinderella stories. But I doubt very seriously if an Indiana sniffs a semifinal. I'm not even a betting man left, but I'm willing to put money up to say Indiana in the next 20 years will not sniff a semifinal in the CFP. Now I say that, and then they probably go out next year and get to the semifinal. But I just don't see it. Everything. This is the genius of college presidents and executives. This is what they always wanted. They always wanted to eat the little guys up, get them out of the way, and hoard all the revenue. That's what they wanted. So while they sitting up here crying, acting like going to legislation and going in front of Congress saying we need help, dude, you're getting exactly what you wanted. You're getting exactly what you wanted. You're getting it. There are no more Cinderella stories, bro. I just don't see it. I just don't. I don't care what they said officially, bro. I watched Bo Collins and Chris Mitchell run in drills up close and personal. Bo Collins is not 2/100ths of a second slower than Chris Mitchell. He's not. He's not. He's
just didn't let that happen. I thought he was a 4.3, 4.4.
He's not. He's not a 4.3, but if Bo Collins was a 4.52, there is no way Chris Mitchell was a 4.5. No way. None.
That's interesting.
None. I'm just with the naked eye. You know speed left when you know speed when you're watching it. I'm watching Chris Mitchell run routes. He ran, dude, double moves, fly routes, post routes, over routes. I'm watching him run, all these routes in the drills with Riley Leonard. And Riley Leonard is letting the ball go much earlier than he let it go for any other receiver.
How did he look?
Riley? Towards the end, when he got tired, he became a little inaccurate on the deep ball, overthrew some guys. But the fact that that cat Riley Leonard was throwing 55, 60 yards, I'm like, okay, where the heck was this? Like you were underthrowing deep balls all year. Now you're overthrowing cats on a pro day, which is why I said, don't listen to people tell you who look good when quarterbacks are warming up. Because if you can't translate that to live action,
what is the point?
But he had a really he threw really well today. He threw really well. It was very few balls hit the ground. Very few balls hit the ground.
Okay.
So they scripted it out. I was talking to I was sitting there listening to, I think it was Bo Collins and Riley Leonard. They were talking about for the last week, they all were like running the script for the last couple of days. So Bo Collins had a fabulous day, bro. He showed a lot more explosion. That dude had a 10-10 broad jump.
Dang.
That's what I said.
10 broad jump.
10-10 broad jump. This is how I know that Chris Mitchell 40 time might be a little fraudulent. Chris Mitchell ran his first 40, and as he crossed the 40-yard point, coaches, I heard several coaches say, ooh. Now, when you see people with the clock say, ooh, come on, man. Like, I don't know what was up. Everybody else I was accurate on. Like, my watch was right on the official times with everyone else.
Mitchell.
Except for, dude, I'm like, wait a minute. Nah, I didn't get that. Yeah. First one I had like 4.47, and then I had like a 4.46. I'm like, nah, that dude's not a 4.5, dude. Wow. He's not. He's not. He struggled a little bit with that bench press. You know what I realized, Left? I'm gonna keep it a buck. And feel free to correct me on the percentages because I'm really taking a shot in the dark, but I'm gonna get to an overall point. I realized today, and paying attention to most pro day results, 80% of college players are pretty much bunched in the same area athletically.
Yeah.
And then you have like 10% that are just like blessed by God. They're just blessed by God. They're just different athletically.
Yeah, just like testing and stuff.
Testing and on the field. They're just different. And then it's another 10% that might be caught in between, right? They're a little bit better than the rest, but they're not quite elite. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you see. Because I'm looking at these 40s times today and I'm like,
they're all the same 4.5, 4.6,
4.5, 4.6. And it's like, but they played, but Notre Dame was a fast team. Notre Dame was considered a fast team. But then I said most of the speed is probably the kids coming out next year.
Yeah, I think we got some fast kids in the class next year for sure.
So this is today's pro day didn't have star power. And what I mean by that, last year, the two tackles were the stars. Everybody came to see Blake Fisher and Joe Alt. Everybody knew that. Hey, both of these cats might go in the first round. Like, one ended up going in the first, the other one went in the second. So they were the star attraction, right? The year before that, or 2 years before that, it was Kyle Hamilton. Everybody wanted to see Kyle Hamilton run his 40. That was the big attraction, right?
Yep.
There was really no big attraction this year.
Yeah,
there was no big attraction this year. So the vibe today was very, very chill. Was not as electric as the previous pro days. It was very workmanlike today by the players. Very workmanlike. They went out, and for the most part, Mitchell Evans, you could tell he's still getting stronger from rehab and getting back to his original form. So I think whatever team gets him is going to get a player that is ascending as far as his ability to get back to who he was before the injury. And he just ran and caught the ball well. Miss Jeter struggled, bro.
Really?
Miss Jeter struggled today, man. He just did. And that kind of ends a streak of Notre Dame place kickers that struggled during the regular season having phenomenal pro days. I don't know if Mitch gets, I definitely don't think he gets drafted. I definitely don't think he gets drafted. I don't even know if he gets picked up like some of the other guys. But Jack Kaiser just followed up what he did at the combine. Jack Kaiser's just smooth. Everybody was messing with him because when he ran his 40s, man, everybody had either their shirt off or, cut off shirt. Jack had a t-shirt tucked in. Like, everybody's like, this dude, man, is just Mr. Perfect, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's Mr. Notre Dame. Like, most games ever played. Just clean cut, everything you want, And even when he spoke, Mitchell Evans to me had the quote of the day.
Okay.
Mitchell Evans said, in the middle of talking, he was just talking about, it was fun to get out here, run around with my guys and, catch passes from Riley. And he stopped and he was like, man, this is the last time we're all going to be together. Like, it just hit him. Like, in the middle of his interview, he was like, yo, yeah, this is the last time we're going to be together. And I'm like, yo, that's got to feel crazy. Like, it was like an emotional moment for him without the emotions welling up in him, so it was pretty cool, but it was really chill today. Mike Tomlin is hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Mike Tom, let me tell you something, man. I love people that are aware of where they are. And in the middle of the field where everybody was lining up to watch the 40s, Mike Tomlin walks away from everybody, walks over to Jeff Watts, Xavier Watts' dad, shakes his hand, encourages him. Pretty much is like, yo, I love your story. I love what you did for your son. You did a fabulous job. Just like, man, just spoke to him, talked to him, encouraged him, congratulated him, told him this is, man, enjoy this. I thought it was a really dope moment, bro. I really did. I really did. And that dude walks like, I can't say it, dude, because I don't want to get us kicked off YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin he a real one. I'll just leave it like that. Mike just watching him walk around like, okay, yeah,
he running things.
He's a real one. And then one of his assistant coaches kind of stuck around and continued to talk to Jeff Watts. Pittsburgh, the most represented were the Raiders. It seemed like the Raiders' entire staff was there, bro.
Oh,
the Raiders, I'll get to it. The Raiders, the Buccaneers, the Steelers. Brian Mason was back in the house with his Colts hat on. Coach Mason was back in the house. It was good to see him. Notre Dame players were there. Bryant Young. That cat Bryce Young is huge in person, bro. Good God. Dude. Bryant Young is a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
I was like, geesh.
No, yeah. I mean, that's talent right there.
Yeah, those are the team and the Giants. Those are the teams that were very Mike Tomlin literally in the field drills walked over and stood behind Bo Collins as he ran his route and called passes from Riley Leonard. He stood right by Bo Collins and just watched him. So Pittsburgh might have some interest in Xavier Watts and Bo Collins. Several teams were looking at Riley Leonard because Riley Leonard would be Pittsburgh was looking at Riley Leonard. And I started thinking about it like Riley Leonard would actually be a good quarterback to stash and develop and to be like a situational quarterback. He could be a good goal line, come in, run the ball, especially as you let him grow. I don't know.
They're doing that? The Penn State tight end. Not right.
Well, he's not. Tyler Warren's coming to the Bears. So, no, seriously. That was, I was ear hustling. There was some Chicago media down. I was ear hustling, and they were telling some people like, yeah, Cole Kmet's last year of his deal is next year, and the Bears are looking for a tight end.
Oh, y'all go resign him.
Can I finish the story? And they said the Bears are looking for a tight end that can separate from man-to-man coverage. Because Cole Kmet can't do that.
Whoa.
All right.
Wait, he can't do what?
He can't get open against man-to-man coverage. He can get open against zone coverage a lot. So they really don't have, they signed Durham Smythe, but, Durham Smythe is just a grizzled vet, solid. He's not Tyler Warren, bro. And first of all, neither one of them is Tyler Warren. So we can stop that.
There was more like a poor man's Travis Kelce.
Who is that?
Durham.
Okay. If that's what you want to refer to him as.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Mike Denbrock was seen talking to several teams. I'm sure they were inquiring about Riley Leonard. The entire staff was there. Eventually, all the players were up top. Saw Jaden Mickey back. He was back watching.
Oh, he didn't participate?
No. He's transferring.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But he was, he's probably still going to school and finishing out the year. So he was there supporting. Some other tidbits I had. Chris Mitchell, man, that dude, I don't get it, bro. That dude runs really smooth, man. The same thing I saw in fall camp. I'm like, yeah. Like Riley was laying the ball out there on deep passes, and he just went and got it several times. So, yeah, Devin Ford had a really solid day. Devin Ford and that cat Jordan Clark on TV looks real small. But that cat Jordan Clark put up 17 on 225. And then he ran the 40 with his shirt off, and that cat's shoulders are a little bit bigger than they look on TV. I was like, okay. Of course, Ryan Clark was in the building. Ryan Clark was in the building. I talked to Xavier Watts' brother. Super cool. I'm trying to remember. Bear with me. A couple of the tidbits I had. I thought Riley threw the ball on the run very well. Anytime they went rollout or waggle, and you could tell Riley's been working on his release because he got rid of the ball much quicker. Much quicker today. So that's what he's been working on in his time off. You know, he said he was working with Phillip Rivers before he came back. He went away, worked with Phillip Rivers. I mean, heck, Phillip Rivers stays down the street. So, I mean.
Oh, they were neighbors?
Yeah, they're like neighbors or something like that. So, I got Phillip Rivers has a full field in his backyard, dude.
No, but I'm saying that's the last guy you want to be taking mechanic lessons from.
Hey, he got it done, though. That Mark, boy.
But it was only him getting away.
Like that Mark was a sniper from the ear, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the guy you go to fixing mechanics. Oh, goodness. He's the only guy
Phillip Rivers threw like a dude that was the dude that couldn't throw a baseball.
Yeah.
You know, that he threw it like this. That's how he threw a football. And it was, man.
Just got there,
the craziest motion, but he got it done. But those were the active teams. The Buccaneers were very interactive with the players. Nice. Very interactive with the players. Jack Kaiser had about 3 teams that walked up to him. The Dolphins walked up to him.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice...
After everything was over.
He's going to be wherever he want to be.
I thought Howard Cross showed his quickness in the drills, especially. And the Notre Dame coaches ran the drills. Al Washington ran the D-line drills. Max Bullock ran the linebacker drills. Mick ran the DB drills. Benjamin Morrison is doing his own private workout. He's doing his own private workout. He really didn't do any field drills or anything. He came, he benched, and that was it. He did the bench press, and that was it. He's doing his own private workout. When they asked him, where he is in his recovery, he was like, I'm fully healthy. He was like, I'm fully healthy. So him having a private workout, I would assume he's probably going to do it back home in Arizona.
Yeah, probably. He should.
Probably does it back home in Arizona, unless, his agent is down in Florida or LA somewhere. Maybe he'll do it, wherever his agency has their home.
No, I mean, hey, you make it a la carte. Once you get into this space, you got to do what you can foster the greatest, return on, especially when this is like your resume.
Yeah. Justin Kane, you can answer this one, Left. Can you explain the logic of having a private workout?
It's a relationship builder. Teams usually fly all the people that make decisions to really focus on what they want to see. They usually put them through their team workouts. So they'll, like, let's say if the Raiders came, it'll be all the Ravens decision makers and probably the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach that come in, or you'll go into their facility, or they'll come to you and they'll give you part of their playbook, run you through the type of things that they go through and drills, and then test you on it later in the day, interview you, watch your film, watch their film. Just a really personal day in the life, so to speak. But it's like a physical or mental interview under a team's scope, and how they go about things, and the details of what they do specifically, and questions about what it's like, if they're at the school, like what it's like at school, take me through your routine, what you do, so it's just an in-depth one-on-one. That's kind of what you want. Like when you go through the high school ranks, you want to have junior days and one-day camps where you can get up to the school and you have your private officials and you do all the one-on-one things with coach, kind of like how Irish Invasion is. It's similar to Irish Invasion. You working with Gino Gaduli, you throw in the routes, couple routes that we run, and just to get a semi dress rehearsal, no different than basketball. Does it even better. Basketball players can go practice with the team. So if football was to ever get onto that, I think it's too many liability things, but that's essentially what it is. You basically go practice with the team, but in this case for football, with the coaches doing the team stuff.
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Opening day, Left. My White Sox got a win. They actually won today, Left. Man, that's probably 1 of 40. Because we're probably going to lose the rest. Probably have about 40 wins this year. Lose about 122. Break the record again. Lucky Lefty podcast. I want to talk about Mitchell Evans in this senior class. Crazy amount of leadership on that field, boy. Like literally, I got it. As I watched Riley Leonard and I saw how he interacted with the guys during his script, I was like, I get why he's easy for everybody to be like, man, he's a cool dude. Like, all right, we rock with him. And Riley Leonard is a sneaky big dude. Like, you look at him, you're on mute, bro.
So he's country fed, looks the part.
Yeah, he's a sneaky big dude. Like, he walked past, and I'm like, he gives you the look that he's gangly, but it's like, nah. You mess around and run up on him like, oh, you're a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
he had the second quote of the day when they asked him why he didn't run the 40. He said, because everybody thinks I'm fast, so we're going to keep it that way. And I was like, I just laughed. It was like, yo, that was well played. That was well played. Like, keep it funky. Like, keep it all the way funky. Like, dude, I don't want to mess up the narrative of me being a scrambling and running quarterback. Because if they see my 40, they might be like, oh, this is fresh meat coming into the league right here. This is fresh meat. But I started thinking about next year. That's what I started doing.
Yeah.
Next year, J Love, Jadarian, possibly Christian Gray, possibly a Don Shula. I mean, dude, these are third-year guys, depending upon what they do. Boubacar Traore is a third-year guy. He's already had one injury. Does he think if he has a great season, does he think about coming out?
Yeah.
Jason Onye, he's coming out. Jordan Botello is coming out.
Jaden Greathouse.
Handicap Jaden Greathouse would have to have. I don't see him coming out, but Devontae Smith, the transfer, Stroman, the transfer, Dawson, the transfer. Yeah, it's a little more star power next year. Well, the star is going to be Jeremiah Love. The star is going to be Jeremiah Love. That everybody's coming to see J Love next year. It is what it is. He when I pulled up and walked in, this cat, man, it was 55 degrees today. This cat J Love was on his bike with a parka on, like it was 20 degrees, bro. I was like, this dude, man.
Cal's done built up. Yes.
I just chuckled, man. I chuckled, but it was really good vibes, man. Everybody was there to support. Current players, everybody was there to support. Special moment afterwards. Everything was done, and Adon Shula and Christian Gray ran up to Jeff Watts and hugged him and stood there and talked to him for about 10 minutes.
Nice.
I was like, yo, that's pretty dope. I was like, and those two kids seem like they're pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
Adon Shula and Christian Gray pretty much seem like they're inseparable. But though, man, it was a really cool day. It was a really cool day, real chill in comparison to the previous 2 years. Not much star power, but solid workman-like performances.
Yeah, solid players.
Solid workman-like performances. And yeah, that's the pro day. Man, if you got any questions about the pro day, GTB questions, super chat, put it in. We appreciate it. And yeah, that's it, man. Bo Collins had a really impressive. I thought Bo Collins had a really good day.
He had one of them classic Miles Boykin EQ Chase Claypool type of surprise, but always probably had it in them talented type of days. I mean, he did go to Clemson. He was a high recruit at Modern Day. So, I mean, you know, similar to some guys are just good street clothes performers. Not that he wasn't good in the pads, but they just built for this type of ask, this type of challenge. So, you know, more kudos to him being able to surprise people. That's what EQ Miles and Chase Claypool. I don't think EQ was more surprising. EQ just ran at the right times, you know. So, you know, more power to him. Notre Dame receivers are growing.
Yeah, that cat Bo had a 10-10 broad, 38-inch vert,
Damn.
4.5 240, and a 419 shuttle. He
gonna get picked up.
he had a day, bro. Bo Collins had a day. He had a day. And I was shocked that Jaden Harrison didn't run faster. He ran a 4.57. I was really shocked that Jaden Harrison didn't run faster. I expected faster from him. Ran a 4.57. And like I said, man, that cat Max Hurlman, your boy, the punt returner, ran a 4.22 in the shuttle. That 40 was on that 4.64 though.
Yeah. Looked like it.
Your boy RJ Oben put up 27 on the bench. They gave him 26. I gave him that last one. I feel like, you know, that last one, when you let it down and you like, because you know the next to last one, you struggle to get it.
Yeah.
And you say, let me get one more. And he got it to like right here. He got it to right here. And I'm like, man, dude, get that to him, dude. Like,
nah, they be serious about that.
Like, you gotta lock it out and hold. I'm like, man, dude, give that dude 27. Give it to him.
Yeah, 26, 27, pretty good. You strong.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Rod Hurd, man, head nod with his pops. pretty good day. Northwestern transfer 9.11, ran a 4.6. The shuttle at 4.46. That three cone though, 6.83 on the three cone. It's pretty good for Rod Hurd.
Yeah.
So Rod Hurd's that type of kid that'll get picked up. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll get picked up in camp.
Just like T Hart.
Yeah, he'll get picked up and he'll stick in camp and people will love him. Ben Morrison measured at 6 foot 3.25. 6 foot 3.25.
Yeah. I see it. We were eye to eye. I'm 6 foot exactly, so I could definitely see it.
6'3", 2/3 for Mitchell Evans. Bo Collins was 6'3" in the third.
Did Ben Morrison run a 40?
No, he's having his own private workout.
I'm sorry. I meant, is he going to run the 40?
Yeah. At the private workout, he said he's doing everything. Former Notre Dame player Osita Ekwonu, he was back. He had a pretty impressive day at 9.58 on the broad. His arms, 34-inch arms, bro. That's bananas.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Wingspan is 80 and an eighth.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And 4.476 in the 40. Three cone wasn't that good, 7.61. Shuttle was decent, 4.76. And he had 24 reps on the bench press.
Yeah, solid.
Very, very solid. D-Mont, Mr. Food Lover.
A lot of guys in that 4.6, 4.5 range.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the majority of athletes, man. They're all packed together athletically, and then you just have 20%.
4.3, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think Xavier Watts' time today,
probably a 4.6.
I think there were 13 safeties at the combine that ran faster than his time. But
he's not a speed demon.
He's instinctive. His instincts are his blessing. That's his God-given ability. So that makes up for the speed. Same thing with Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle's not fast.
No.
I'm not going to say he's not fast. He's just not – he's not an elite track star athlete.
No. They have great instincts.
He can run.
Yes.
But he's not – yeah. He's a great player, though, because of his speed, in my opinion.
Yeah. Did you see anybody that could be a sleeper in the draft? A sleeper? I think Bo Collins can be a sleeper.
But he's not a sleeper because he's not projected to be top 5 receiver.
Let me see. Bo Collins, where is he projected? I would say a sleeper in the draft. See, we talked to Thomas Harper last night. If you missed it, go check out that interview from last night's show. Thomas Harper was the sleeper with the performance he put on last year at the Pro Day. Like his numbers were elite all across the board. No one really did that, Left. No one really did that.
No.
So
we wasn't expecting anybody to do that, though.
Yeah, they have him going 6th round on his profile, NFL.com. So I don't know if that's a sleeper.
Second round or something.
Jack Kaiser could be
a 4th round pick,
but that comes in and like
he's going to play. Yeah, he's going to play.
You know what I mean? If that is what you're asking about, D-Mont, a guy that can come in and like play. Like Maris was a sleeper.
Oh God, yeah.
Because Maris came in with the Cowboys and immediately
Right
was like,
around.
yeah. But sleeper, it depends. Like a kid like RJ Oben, as big and as strong as he is, he might go to the right situation, and next thing you know, he's making plays.
Yeah.
You know, but no, it was funny because we were all sitting there like, dude, Notre Dame doesn't have any offensive linemen this year.
They're all babies. They transferred.
Well, the two that could have been
Yeah.
transferred for their NIL money and to get an extra year. Not mad at them. Shout out to Pat Coogan, Rocco. So yeah, that's pretty much it, love. That's pretty much it. It was a cool day. It was cool. It was cool. Yeah. No one, you didn't come away saying, ooh, that was a horrible day.
Right. It's just everybody did
By
pretty
anyone.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Riley Mills will be back. The next step for him, he said he's walking. The boot was off. He's walking, and he said he should be back to running
He'll get picked up
soon.
somewhere.
I think Riley's gonna get drafted. I think Riley
That's
Mills
what
is gonna get
he'll
yeah.
get
Riley Mills might get third, fourth round.
mhm.
Yeah, Riley Mills third, fourth round. He has a shot. He has a shot. Lucky Lefty podcast. So we didn't get a chance last night, Left. We have a big time guest, not guest, but visitor coming to campus this weekend. And we want to talk about him. But it's time to hear from Joe Rudolph because people are just really in the flux about what's going to happen on the offensive line. Who are going to be the five guys that eventually take the field down in Miami for the first week of college football. And he talked about two guys that are getting work at left tackle in Styles Prescott and Gerby Lambert, who is cross training at both tackle positions. This is what Joe Rudolph had to say about those guys, Left.
I think from those two guys, especially, and you saw it like during Styles, you didn't get to see as much of because he was battling through injury. But like seeing him out here and seeing him move around, does some really good things, shows some really good twitch. It's just about like learning it, being more consistent. But his ability to kind of flash is there. So I'm excited about what I see out of him. And then Gerby, I had a ton of confidence at the end of the year last year. Like if we needed him, like being able to go in there and not miss a beat. And he came out and he's working that way through the spring. Like he's been great. So working him at both sides and giving him as many opportunities as we can to get him on the field.
I actually like that. The fact that he's saying if something had happened to Emil Wagner, right tackle,
You were good. You were good to go.
Gerby Lambert's ready to go during the playoffs. I love hearing that coming into the spring.
That sounds like
Give him a shot at left tackle, an honest shot.
That sounds like a guy that can reload, not replace, like not so much of retraining anything necessarily. It's the guy that this guy can fill in at any moment. We're confident and trust that he can go in there and give a great production and a great effort. So it just goes back to having rich people problems. Got a lot of quality alignment. It's just a matter of, finding out the variables and how they find themselves in that rotation, who's best on what side. And if all else fails, if a guy had to be plugged in anywhere, we're still not missing a beat. So, spoil of riches and Joe Rudolph is his ability to manage it and not overdo it or do what happened with those other three guys, and we're going to be in a good spot.
My fault, bro. I was trying to bring up another page to get it ready to bring up that film that we're going to look at later on Lucky Lefty podcast. So he went on to talk about once again, as long as Gerby Lambert is getting that shot, bro, it's elite talent. You're bringing in another elite talent and Will Black at the tackle position.
Yeah, then Will Black is a great prospect. So, I mean, good grief. Like, you got options. Like you said, you got 8 D tackles that are possible. You got 3 guys that are very capable for what? 1 or 2 spots. Guys coming in that can make an impact day one. That's the type of recruitment level we are at the O-line. We're getting day one guys that can impact. Hugh Nelson was a day one. Charles Jagasaw would have been a day one. Blake Fisher, day one. You know, so if we're at that level where we're bringing guys in on scholarship as a baby freshman that are possible contributors, and then you mix that with a bunch of veterans and guys on the come up that are fighting for position, and you can pick out of a hat. You can pick out of a hat with the guys that we have, you know, for these vying for these positions, and you won't be wrong. You just get a different flavor of what you want to see, and you know, shout out to those guys for being able to be so malleable. You know, with talent like that, you would expect guys to be like, "No, I'm left tackle, or I'm right guard, or I'm left." Right. They got a Notre Dame offensive line where it's just anywhere you're plugged in as a starter, you're good. You're good. You're going to be playing next to somebody that's good too.
And he talked about 2 of those guys. And we saw Charles Jagasaw play right guard against Penn State, and then go play left tackle against Ohio State. And there's a freshman that is making waves. I talked to this young man. He's from Indianapolis. His name is Cam Herron.
Yeah.
And this kid played all 5 positions as a high school senior for his high school team. All 5. So you talk about versatility and what he brings. Joe Rudolph talked about both of these kids.
I put a lot of stock in what I see on film, and then getting to know the person next. You know, like there's the film that makes you like someone, and then there's the person and who they are that makes you know if they're a fit here at Notre Dame or not. And he had that. And then when he came to camp here, he competed at an extremely high level. Like I think camp eval is the best thing you can have, and yeah, he's got very unique features where that most people don't have in a skill set for him, and he's just, I think, going to be a really good fit, and it's doing well so far. So keep it rolling.
What allowed a guy like Charles to be able to instantly get back in there after obviously not playing it? Not the easiest time of year to get back in there when he started playing again in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Charles would be the first person to tell you this. Like, it wasn't instant. You know what I mean? Like, it took a long journey to kind of get there. And the journey started, I think, with good communication right after the injury. Like, the first thing you do is you're kind of down, right? Like, it happens in fall camp. You have all these expectations. And the first things we hit them with is, okay, what can you control now? You know, and you get through the surgery, and it's like, okay, what can I control now? And so Coach Lando and the weight room crew and everyone kept giving him a picture that, hey, if we play and we keep playing, there's a chance you could get back at an opportune time. So he started to practice, and he got a couple weeks of practice under his belt. And then all of a sudden we needed him that third week that he had been practicing. Like the first week, limited. Second week, a little bit more. Third week, he was pretty much doing everything in a backup role, and boom, he was able to step in that Penn State game and gave us a little spark.
He sure did. He absolutely stepped in and gave you a spark, Coach Rudolph. And to hear, like you said, you know, being malleable and being versatile and being able to play positions and not complain. And understand, like, this is the culture of this. The culture of this room was here when I got here, and it's going to stay the same, and I'm going to leave it in the same shape. And that's something that all of those guys in that room take great pride and responsibility in.
Yeah, because they have such a overhead of expectation from guys they looking at on Sunday going balling out. It's such of a close relation that they're like, oh, I can't, come here and perform below the standard because there's no excuse. These guys on Sunday, the best of the best right now, came through this same room. And we're not talking guys in the 80s and black and whites and leather helmets. We're talking about right now. From retired to all pro to signing big contracts to just getting in the league doing well, you have a range of success from Notre Dame offensive lineman at the next level. So the expectation, that's just the tension that's just overhead over the offensive line room is just greatness. It's like, how dare you slack off? It's just no way to slack off because they travel as a group,
Mm-hmm.
being together. They got a constant flow of communication and guys visiting that are on current teams, and they work out. I mean, it's just a very close-knit and tightly ran unit. And it just, that family feel fosters a lot of the success that we see continuously, regardless of coach and head coach or position coach. And that's a special thing to have because now it's a part of the brand, it's a part of the culture that can withstand the test of time, right? I mean, it won't last forever, but we've been on a good 20-year run.
It's been a nice run. It's been a nice run. He then went on to talk about Charles Jagasaw and the full experience of what he went through and what he's becoming. Check it out, Left.
I think it's huge, right? I think it's huge for everyone, like not just in the O-line. I think it's huge as a team when you see, like, okay, how do you face adversity? Like, what do? You just go to work, right? You just prepare each day for when your opportunity comes back. And when he jumped in, like I said, when he jumped in the Penn State game, like he wasn't perfect in the game, but he gave us a spark. Like he got some great movement and, he was excited for the opportunity. Next thing you know, he's got to play the next week at a different position, and he goes in and battles in Ohio State. So I was real proud of him.
What are you like hoping to see from this offensive line? As Louisville bowl game only a few weeks away.
Yeah, I want to see these guys. There's some different timing on guys getting back, some things that each guy's working through. I don't know if we'll have the whole group on the field this spring, but we'll have some major pieces. And the key is that they learn how to play together. They learn how to complement one another. They learn how to listen, I got to get my job done in a physical manner. I got to be consistent doing it. But we got to do it together. There's no guy out there on his own. And I think when they learn that and that understanding, it's transferable. And they go from getting it right to never getting it wrong. And that's the battle.
It's kind of unrealistic to say never getting it wrong. They're players. They're going to get it wrong.
Say they're very consistent on technique.
Yeah.
One of those things where he probably made his out of 10 times they get it right, 7 or 8. You're still college guys, or at least knowing what to do mentally, they're perfect on it. So it's one of those things that I just believe the unit in and of itself is just fostering such great shared experience, right? Like these guys are learning things that you probably can't learn other places. We heard that from Harp. Harp said when he came to Notre Dame after 4 years of being in another program, that he's learned more football and he understands the bigger picture and he knows what he's talking about. That just begs the question, what'd you learn over there? You had Jim Knowles. So it really speaks to the level of prestige, which we talked about that's happening at Notre Dame. Got out of G14 classification in football, mastery and that certificate of know-how and football IQ, because the advantage of coming to Notre Dame is the development on a lot of different levels. I mean, you heard T. Harp say yesterday, he said, I learned how to become a man in a short amount of time. And we're still relating this to him being a 4-year graduate at a whole nother Division I college football program. So this is just showing you how Notre Dame can stand out in those 90 days or in those 6 months of going to a different school, and even Riley, 4 years at a place that we consider a prestigious university in Duke. He got a whole different experience at Notre Dame where he was like, this is something I've never been to. Wasn't used to, but I've grown within, and the process has built me to a better person. I mean, we ain't never seen this kid get so much pub until the success he had at Notre Dame. You would think that the man was going to get drafted in the top 5 quarterbacks just because he's got the Notre Dame stamp and he went so far in one season. It's just an impressive thing. So, he's played himself into the right position, and now everything else takes care of itself. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Notre Dame is offering you something more detailed, more intricate, maybe even something more philosophical that you're not finding from your standard programs. Because then it goes back to recruiting. T. Harp told us when they recruited him, they showed tape, showed how he can fit in, showed what was good, taught him things he didn't even know. What are other recruiting in this day and age pitches are? Is it just money? Are they talking football? Because like he told you, he said that the key was, and what really turned him up was the sole fact that he could find out more information at Notre Dame that he couldn't find out other places. That's the one thing that supersedes, quote unquote, the money. From a player that we also have to think within context is thinking business. He's like, I ain't got 5 years. I got 1 year. I need to do this. Forget the money. Not forget the money, but if I can go and learn something and develop, that means more than money. And I think that's what Notre Dame offers, something more than what money can give you. That probably means more to a transfer like a Stroman, like the D lineman that we got from Louisville, like the nickel from Alabama. They probably saw something more than a money thing, which Notre Dame probably is in a league of its own and what it can offer. Yeah, we may not give you $1 million, but we give you $1 million worth of game. That other teams, maybe when they're recruiting, aren't giving. They may just be like, hey, I got a car, couple deals, and some money. Oh, and we play football over here too. That's what I'm thinking they're pitching it as. Because you would have to think, what is the adverse of a Notre Dame recruiting pitch? It's talking about numbers, talking about how we're going to take care of this and that. You're going to be put up here, and you're going to have, like the Jesus Shuttleworth visit. Notre Dame is like, we got a beautiful campus. We can get you places, but you got to work hard, and it may not go how you think it goes, and you're going to have to fall in line and do some things you ain't necessarily want to do, and take some lashings, and, that you may not want to take. Take some L's, but trust us. We got you. Because when you step outside of this and you think of the bigger picture, which T. Harp talked about a lot yesterday, you realize that those things I was micro focused on, in the bigger picture, that's just a stamp on my badge that people respect. People just got a new, different kind of respect for your football knowledge, for how you can behave as a professional, as a man outside of the field. And you may have only been there, like T. Hart was only there for 6 months. Riley Leonard was only there 6 months. And you see a developed character, and it was probably through like T. Hart said, the whole fan base turned on their back on you. In week 4, you like, dang, what happened? And then you got to earn that respect back, quote unquote, through the fan base. It's a hyperdrive experience to your average conference football. I would just say I think being in the conference dilutes a lot of what you would have to put into from an effort standpoint on trying to gain attraction for an independent school. Like when you're in the Big Ten, you have so much more attraction outside of your school itself that you can point to be like, why wouldn't you want to be in the Big Ten? But Notre Dame is more inwardly focused on this is what you get here at this school right here. Forget other schools. You can only be at one school. But when you're at this school, yeah, we're gonna put you through the ringer. But you'll find yourself in a much lighter position on trying to navigate to get places. It's not gonna seem like such a climb when coming out of school where you're like, this is the big leagues. No, you was in the big leagues at Notre Dame. Now this is just a horizontal transition. Now it's just called a different thing. It's called the league. All right, I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Speaking of that, Left, interesting stat that I saw today that I had to bring up, especially with us talking offensive line. Oh, man. This only goes to prove the point. NFL O-line starts by college over the last 10 years. Who's first, Left?
Yeah, there's no question.
Who's first?
Indeed.
We are O-line U.
Zach Martin, Ronnie, and Q probably got half of those numbers. I don't think Q missed a game yet.
Yes, sir.
You know, Zach Martin was 11 years in that thing. So, with a little bit of his brother in there, too.
Yeah.
Then you got all the young guys, the Haineses and the Banks and the Eichenbergs and you got Glenchie, couple teams, a Super Bowl in there. And, hey, all these other guys, they become washed almost,
The top 5 actually didn't surprise me.
Right.
I actually thought Michigan.
That was as of late. Because when they had
Michigan going back to the 80s has always had offensive linemen, bro.
Not in the league.
What?
It wasn't until Taylor Lewan in the recent history. Maybe they got 600.
Are you out of your mind, dog? You need to go research the tackles in the history of the University of Michigan, bro.
I'm not talking about the history. I'm talking about the recent history. Taylor Lewan and moving on. What have they been putting in the league?
I just thought they would. Last 10 years, I thought they would have more.
I didn't.
LSU, it's a little. Texas A&M was shocking. I thought Georgia definitely would have in the last 10 years.
Maybe the next 10 years.
Iowa makes sense. Joe Rudolph is part of that Wisconsin number.
Yep. Joe Rudolph
was there in Wisconsin. Ohio State, I get. Alabama, I get. The Alabama crews are overrated, though, in my opinion. I say that all the time. Alabama O-linemen, when they get to the league, most, especially the top draft picks, struggle. But yeah, Notre Dame being number 1, it's not a shock. Not a shock at all. All right, it's time to let's hear from Charles Jagasaw on his spring and what he's looking forward to, Left.
I think it's just a combination of everybody in the program, like the strength coaches kind of pushing me to work different parts of my body, get stronger with my lower body while I'm working on rehabbing my shoulder, the training staff getting me healthy, the coaches giving me reps at that time of the year. But I think it was everybody really just played into it, and then kind of just that vision that I had at the start of the year was okay, I might have gotten hurt, but I want to be able to contribute at the end of the year. So it's just a lot of work.
What was that experience like when you're in there for the Penn State game and it's your first reps of the year in a 5-game action, and obviously everyone else has played in 15 games? What's that kind of adjustment period like?
First drive was it was a little bit interesting, just kind of not really knowing that you're going out there. But I feel like after that, I really kind of calmed down and the game started moving a little bit slower. I was able to see things a little bit better. So, I mean, as a whole, I'd say it was a great experience for me just to be able to feel that confidence in a game that's that big.
Charles, what were the emotions like for you late in the year? Because I'm sure for much of the year you figured probably just not going to get a chance to play this year, and then not only do you get to play, but in games of that magnitude.
Yeah, I was just grateful. It was nice to have that opportunity to kind of come back at the last couple games and try to help out the team because they've been working the whole year and they did everything to get us there. So for me, it was just like being able to add something to that kind of memory. It was great for me.
You had a lot of practice reps in this program. You haven't had a ton of game reps between your age and the injury. How much better off do you feel today because you were able to play in a couple games late last year?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just more things that I can add to more takeaways that I have when I'm just thinking like, how am I going to be confident going into next year, and what are the things I know I can do well and the things that I need to work on still. So for me, it was great to have more kind of baseline data points where you see like, okay, this is where I'm at and this is what I need to get better at.
Young man said all that left to say, I mean, I know I can play. Like,
So I just need a
good
couple.
play.
Reps. I just need a couple reps to get comfortable.
That's it. Tackle, guard.
Once I got in there, I was good.
Yeah. Got the nerves out the way. You ready
You
to
said
roll.
you saw what I did to Abdul Carter that one play? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was comfortable then.
Real nasty. Just dive on him. Dive on the shoulder. That's
Yeah,
injury.
it's so good. It's almost boring, man. We know the speech that's coming. We know how you gonna say all the right things and make the plays. It's just like a printing press. We just until we get some character on some. I don't know. I mean, this is pretty much the routine of what you want to hear
Mm-hmm.
from an Notre Dame offensive line that's looking to be impressive. So more power to us. I'm not worried. It's going to be a long season for those other guys. And, even wishing health on our boys has been good. So in health and not health, we still find a way. So I'm just sticking to the basis that that's the foundation of the program. And we go from there. We build off of that. And with the right quarterback and receiver play, and we got Jeremiah Love and the tight ends doing their thing. High octane, like you said, the doers. The doers are in the building.
One of those doers is Emil Wagner, your starting right tackle, or will he get the left tackle position? They're taking it easy with him coming off of the long season. This is what he had to say about the spring.
It's going great so far. A lot of just learning to do right now. After a long season, it's good to kind of be back in the fold and just be with your brothers again and just compete in football.
Obviously, a lot of transition on the offensive line in terms of just some guys are practicing, some guys aren't. What are you seeing from the younger guys and what they've been able to do early on as they get some opportunities?
It's really their ability to step up and compete. Like all the young guys, they came in fresh. Most of them came in early just to be able to practice before the bowl games, but just the ability to come in there, like learn the playbook, step up, and be able to compete with our ones and twos. So I'm really proud of the guys, the work they put in, and the consistent learning they're doing.
If you take yourself back a year from now, can you just kind of put into words how much you think you've grown and how much you've learned from where you were a year ago and how much more prepared you feel to just be a mainstay on that line now?
Really it came with just game reps. I think the ability to be on the field and compete. Obviously practicing one thing, you get a lot better, you improve small things day in and day out. But getting the opportunity to be on the field, experience it when it's true win or lose or competition, life or death, win or loss. And so I just think the ability to have those reps over 1,000 in the season and just be able to hone my skills really helped me confident this time around to be able to, hey, I've seen this on the field, I can coach it better, I can be able to translate it better, communicate it better. So this was a lot better this spring, just be able to have that knowledge and that experience going into practice.
Just having the kind of success that you guys had last fall, raise expectations for yourselves?
Definitely, that's the foundation. You know, obviously, like, we can't rest on our laurels. We had a great season, but it's a new team, it's a new line, new offense, and so we got to be able just to build up and use that last season as motivation. Obviously, it didn't end how we wanted to. We want to be a better result, and so to be able to just use that as motivation and keep climbing the mountaintop.
Left, that man had 991 snaps he played last year, bro.
Dude, he looks big.
I'm gonna say that again. He had the most snaps on the team, 991 snaps.
Dude, look at him. He looked, you know, he looked like he had 900. I mean, the dude, he talked real fast, you know.
And that's why they're taking it easy with Emil Wagner, bro. Because, like, yo, he played a lot of football. He was the only one, game one, all the way to the end, that played every snap.
Hey, that's great professionalism.
Every snap, except for when the starters came out. That is
great professionalism.
Man, expect big things from Emil Wagner. I would wonder if he can move the left tackle. I would think he would be able to move the left tackle. I just don't know if they want to move him and Jags or separate him and Jags.
Oh, that is a nice side. That is a nice side.
That would be a very nice side to have those two. Sullivan Apsher, somebody we wanted to get a shot at tackle. Then we said, yo, just let him play guard. He's picked up one more position. This is what Sullivan Apsher had to say about his spring.
Yeah, right now I'm working at all three inside spots. I snapped the ball for the first time about a month ago, and now I'm playing a lot of center, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I feel like my body's adjusted really well, got it to where I want it to be in the off season, and I feel like that's really really noticeable these past 4 practices. Just lower body strength, core strength has helped me. It's really helped me transition to the inside well. So.
And then what is the challenge of learning how to snap it? All that comes with playing center.
Yeah, well, the hardest part of center is snap the ball, in my opinion. But no, I'll come out here with the quarterbacks on the weekends and snap with them while they're doing 7-on-7. I always try to get a couple extra snaps before and after practice. It's really just getting to where my body's in a consistent position every time, and I can just continue to replicate that going forward.
To clarify, you never snapped in high school as a kid or anything like that?
No. Coach Rudolph pulls me into his office about a month and a half ago, and he's like, you ever thought about playing center? And I was like, I've never thought about snapping a football, Coach. But here we are now, and I'm loving it, and I'm having fun, so it's good.
Hey, get in where you fit in. I would have been like, what? I was just practicing the other day, man. I mean, I'm going to play. Shoot. I mean, it's like it's the D tackles. Who can do something that everybody else can't do right now? Because all of y'all are good at what we asking y'all to do. So who's doing like, man, listen, I think he's very smart for going with the flow. O-line? Shoot, you better figure it out. Hey, I would wait around, wait my time.
He actually went on to say snapping is one of the hardest things he ever learned how to do.
Yeah.
He said the first 15 snaps he tried, none of them were on the body of the quarterback, bro.
He said, I'm at Notre Dame. Oh, shit. I just know how to, I better be the best snapping person. He said, anytime I get a chance, I'm taking some snaps. As you know, what you want to get buried behind those other guys? And it wouldn't even be your fault. That's the thing. It's not your fault. It's just, come on, 991 snaps. Charles Jaggersall. I mean, Kirby Lambert. I mean, what are we doing? So the next spot that's just available, it ain't even like, and it's not saying that you can't beat them out, but they kind of, locked in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is we have seen how the season can be with guys who are locked in, a game in, 2 games in, may not be there the whole season. You got to play. So it's all encouraging. It's just about getting where you fit in with the offensive line, and you better not complain.
Yeah, I agree, Lucky Lefty podcast. So ultimately, the O-line It's going to be very interesting. I'll be willing to say, I know we have good quarterbacks. I'm more interested in how the O-line plays in the scrimmage next weekend and then the blue and gold game the following weekend. I'll keep it a buck. I'm going to be more focused though, because the quarterbacks are going to be the quarterbacks, bro. That will play out. The quarterbacks will determine that. We hope that the offensive lineman will determine who plays. We hope that there is a real true competition for the left tackle position. And we'll see. We'll see. But you need to have that left tackle and pass pro needs to be pretty darn good with a first-time starter. I know that much.
Yeah.
With a first-time starting quarterback, you need to have a dude at left tackle that knows what he's doing. It's as simple as that, Left. I think we have one more clip. No, those are defensive linemen. We'll get to the defensive linemen on tomorrow's show. But I did want to play this clip. I'm sorry. This is Robert Hainsey. I want to get your he's giving his all-time starting lineup. All-time starting offensive line at Notre Dame. I want you to listen to Robert Hainsey and then give yours, Left. This is Robert Hainsey giving his all-time.
Wow. That's maybe the best question I've ever been asked. I'm going to go with the positions they played at Notre Dame. Zach Martin, left tackle. Quentin Nelson, left guard. Nick Martin at center. Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. Oh, my gosh. Joe Alt? Dang. Yeah, I left out. There's a lot of good ones. I left out some great ones. I'll put Zach at right guard because he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer right guard. So we'll do that. We'll keep Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, and we'll put Joe at left tackle. That's a pretty solid group, if you ask me. God, that's awesome. That's a great question.
All right, Left. Give me your five, Left. Give me your lie.
Easy. You got Q at left guard, of course. Zach at right guard. We got, oh gosh, it's not as easy as I thought. Okay, hold on. Nick at center. Well, Sam at center.
Sam who?
Yeah.
Sam who? Mustafa?
Who else? Bear Legend. What are you talking about?
I don't know about that Bear Legend, but
I'll go with Nick though. Sam's my 1B though. If I need a back end, Sam will be in there. You can't replace that. Ronnie be my left tackle. So be Ronnie, just like I had it when I played. Ronnie, Q, Nick. And then I put Zach at right guard and my right tackle. No, we're in college. So I'll go Steve Elmer, right guard. And Zach Martin, right tackle.
Cats forget how good Steve Elmer was before he just was like, man.
Or no, I'll go right guard. Man, okay. Sam and Steve would be my backups. But then it goes Zach Martin, right guard, Joe Alt, right tackle. I mean, how you beating that? You got Ronnie and Q, Zach and Joe Alt, and then Nick or Sam Mustafa at center. I mean, you're not losing.
I'll go Ronnie at left tackle.
Yep.
Q at left guard. Q.
This is a lot.
Q and Zach are automatic.
Locks.
Your guards are locked. Your guards are locked. You're just picking three spots. You're basically picking three spots.
And then the three spots are like anybody you can really, I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
The three most important spots are really like Nick, Zach, and Q, and then you
So
go.
I'm gonna go. We got Zach. We got Q. I'm going Ronnie at left tackle. I'm going Jeff Fain at center. Legendary Jeff Fain.
That's Sam. That's crazy.
Yes, he's better than Sam. Come on, man. Stop.
Disrespectful.
Stop. I'm not disrespecting. I'm just speaking facts.
Bear legend.
He was a better center than Sam Mustipher. College and the pros.
Is he an engineer?
What does that have to do with anything? What? Oh man, that's
Sam
funny. My right tackle, two-time All-American, Aaron Taylor. Yeah, you can't leave AT off the. You can't. I had that discussion with somebody else. Like, he's a two-time All-American. Like, what are we talking about? The dude is like a top 10 pick, two-time All-American, and people were talking about Mike McGlinchey. I'm like, come on, man. Nah.
I wouldn't choose McGlinchey either.
Nah. I can't do it.
Yeah, he'd be my stretch forward all-time Notre Dame basketball players. He didn't even play on the team, but he'll be my stretch forward. He'd probably give me a double Jokic number. I'm telling you, this man is like Jokic. Played the wrong sport. He'd be $100 million man in basketball. I mean, he was 6'8", 300, and had great footwork. I'm talking about pump faking. I mean, this dude was incredible. Dude was an incredible basketball player. But right tackle is just like, dude, we got, like you said, Aaron Taylor, Joe Alden there. By the way, who didn't give up a sack either, though. So, I mean, Ronnie not giving up a sack. He didn't give up a sack his senior year. Zach didn't give up a sack his senior year. Joe Walt didn't give up a sack his last year. So what? I mean, what are we talking about right now? Quentin, I mean, nobody's messing with Q at left guard in college. So who would be a running back? Because, I mean, you put anybody, I mean, shoot, at that point.
Hey, that's a good point.
The running back by committee would be, I have Kyron in. If I had running back by committee, I'd do 4. I throw Kyron in there. Personal favorite, Greg Bryant will be thrown in there. And then you have to put Jeremiah Love and then CJ. Or Josh Adams.
Yeah. So yesterday, Love, a question was posed. Somebody asked, who was Rocket Ismail? It was a young person. They were like, I didn't chance to see Rocket Ismail play. So I just want to know, was he faster than Jeremiah Love?
Yeah.
And I just kind of laughed, right? I was like,
Jeremiah Love not no speed demon now.
So I said, Jeremiah 4. Jeremiah in the 4. But I was like, I'm just going to show you against a Tennessee defense that had 7 NFL future Pro Bowlers on it in 1990. This is the simplest play in all of football. I want you to watch how this dude turns the corner on 7 future Pro Bowlers. It's the craziest thing you ever see, love. Notre Dame, Tennessee, 1990.
The 45 of Tennessee. Waters.
Did you see that last dude that was like swimming trying to get to him? Yeah, that's Pro Bowler Dale Carter. 7 future Pro Bowlers on a sweep. Just like,
yeah, it's fast.
Like, dude. All right. This is nothing.
That's crazy.
No, J Love is. I love J Love, but that Cat Rocket was different, bro. It was different. It was absolutely different. You ready to check out a big time visitor 5-star 2026 Charlotte, North Carolina defensive end Rodney Dunham. He visited last week. His commitment date is now April the 10th. I think it's between Georgia, North Carolina, Notre Dame. Everybody wants him. But let's check out his film, Left, because I want you to tell me what it is that you see from the young man. Once again, going to Carolina, North Carolina, and getting the best that they have. Notre Dame has been doing it for like the last 3 recruiting cycles. And if they can land this young man's commitment on April 10th, it will go a long way. They have another big guy, Ebenezer Utade, coming in April 5th for a visit. He's long and powerful, man. 6'5", 220. It's like Notre Dame to get a guy that can come in and block punts as a freshman defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Turns the corner. Great bend. The arc wasn't crazy.
Oh, you watching the video? I don't see it.
Let me see if it's coming up on the screen. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. There we go. Let me take it back to the beginning. I thought I was sharing it, Left. All right, there you go, Left. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. Can you see it, Left?
Yep.
All right. Once again, 6'5", 220,
Yep.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Watch this bend. Watch how he cuts it short. He doesn't go by the quarterback. As soon as he gets to the quarterback's back shoulder, perpendicular, straight line.
Yeah. Just sheer speed and power. Love to see it.
And can translate it. Speed to power. Gets off the ball quick, too.
Yeah.
Real good first step.
Aggressive, love it. High energy, good motor. Yeah, good addition. Obvious reasons why. Quick, long limb. You got all the things you want.
Yeah, the arms are ridiculous on this kid, too. When he fills out, you get him in, fill him out.
Yeah, making life tough.
Now, show a little bit more. He's so quick off the ball, man. And so many high schoolers, when they rush the passer, they loop and go behind the quarterback. As soon as he's there, he squares it off and comes straight down the line. I love that about this kid.
Yeah, he's running.
Once again, April 10th will be the day we find out Notre Dame can land the services of Rodney Dunham. big time defensive end out of the Charlotte, North Carolina area. That'd be a huge get. And I showed this film because I truly believe, based upon the 26 class, the model that you've been begging for left on the defensive line, because usually Notre Dame does the Rover and the Viper, where they have defensive end that they drop, do a lot of different things with. And then you have the bigger defensive end that's more of a run-stopping defensive end. And if he can add some pass rush in pass situations, you're happy with it. Seems like the way Notre Dame is recruiting, they're literally going after tandems. Like Ebenezer Utade with Rodney Dunham is a pass rushing tandem in the 26 class that they can envision playing together. And then they're going out and they're getting 300 pounders on the interior, which is more of an NFL style defensive line than what we've been doing, getting 250 pounders, trying to bulk them up to 290 pounders to play on the inside, and then getting linebackers and forcing them to be 250 defensive ends. Notre Dame is doing a good job now of developing that plan for the defensive line, and it's paying dividends on the recruiting trail, especially in the 26 class. I think it's going to do the same in the 27 class. Lucky Lefty podcast. So everybody, man, we appreciate you guys joining us for this pro day recap. Talked about Joe Rudolph, heard from him, heard from Will Wagner, heard from Derby Lambert, Sullivan Absher, talking about the O-line rotation. And then we checked out Rodney Dunham. His film will be a great pickup for the 2026 defensive line crop in that 26 class. April 10th, he makes his final decision. Huge recruiting weekend coming up. Stay locked in. I have a Trey Taylor story that's up over at IB. Go check it out. He has not changed. June 6th is his commitment date. Notre Dame is coming to see him later on in the month of April. They're coming to see him personally throw. And then offers supposedly are going to go out in early May. So we'll see. Don't forget, Believe Network. Brought to you by Believe. Believe in Notre Dame. Believe in Lucky Lefty. And believe in yourself. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go lock in with us. Audio Edibles. We dropped 3 podcasts over there today. I'm going to be dropping some early morning stuff tomorrow. And shout out to Julio Cuts. Julio, you had everybody looking spiffy today. The linings were nice and crispy at Pro Day. Nice and crispy. I tip my cap to you.
And tell Brian Windhorst, you're not Bron's best friend, man. Quit being weird, man. I thought it was a great interview. Had social media on fire. They hit a game winner same night. Go. Just to go.
Ladies and gents, God bless y'all. I had to make sure I ended on a better note than that foolishness right there, man. Y'all get some rest. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here at Lucky Lefty Podcast. Continue to make sure you spend it different. Go to luckyleftypod.com. Check out the
Go
stories.
luckyleftypod.com. Come on.
Merch it.